Oh, I did it again. Hi, and welcome to my cozy kitchen. My name is Gerry Barrett, and I'm here to cook. And what are we cooking today? We're cooking meatloaf, an American favorite. Good hot, good cold. Today we're going to assemble the ingredients and go over them and prepare them and put our meatloaf assembled into the oven and cook it and take it out, and it'll be so good you'll be able to smell it. As you know, it's no fun to cook by yourself, and I have an assistant today who is my number 4 son, Bruce Barrett. I have 6 sons, and this is the natural cooker of the bunch.
I'm a real cooker, that's the truth. So we're going to cook a meatloaf today, right, Mom?
Yes.
You know, when I grew up, you and my dad had several small restaurants, and they were all what we call these little ma and pa restaurants.
Yeah.
We had one in a little town in Montana named Red Lodge, and later a little bigger one in a town named Cody.
Right.
And I can remember so well the counter filling up with these cowboys and people from out in the country and working men and women. And one of their favorites was your meatloaf. They used to just love meatloaf, and I remember you would serve it hot as a dinner special.
That's right. And sometimes they'd ask for it cold in a sandwich. So we sold a lot of meatloaf. Everyone loves meatloaf.
You know, I can remember that sometimes the forests caught on fire just like they do today. And forest fire crews would come to our little cafe for their sack lunches to take out when they fought fire. And they used to love finding in their lunch a big, thick meatloaf sandwich. And I remember so well that your meatloafs were firm and hard and large and thick. They weren't these crumbly things that you see so much.
It's wonderful when they're nice and thick and hard.
That's right. Well, let's get started. So how does somebody get ready to make meatloaf?
Well, we're standing here in our cozy kitchen. And I think the first thing I would do is turn my oven on, which is right next to me, because it takes a little while to heat while you're mixing your meatloaf. So I'll put my oven at 350, and also we need a beautiful large bowl.
Now this is a big bowl. Most people have one, but why do you have such a big bowl?
Well, it takes a lot of mixing to make everything come out right. And we're using a lot of meat.
Well, let's go through our ingredients here. Of course, I recognize the main one, which is some ground beef or hamburger.
Yeah.
Now, we talked earlier, and you said we're going to make a couple of pretty hefty meatloaves today, so we're going to make a relatively large recipe. So we're using 4 pounds of ground beef. 4 pounds.
Right.
And what else are we going to be putting in this meatloaf?
And we're putting pork sausage in it. Country pork sausage.
So this is nothing unusual, it's just standard American
just
breakfast
standard.
sausage.
This is like a seasoning. It will add to the, what will I say? Well,
add to the flavor?
Flavor.
So do most meatloafs have more than one kind of meat, or how does that work?
Well, you can make it with 1 kind, 2 kinds, 3 kinds, but using 1 kind of beef, it's a little bit tough and it doesn't have the nice flavor and texture. 2 kinds are better, and some people put 3 in, but I think the 2 together are perfect.
So it's a mixture of sausage and hamburger, basically.
Ground beef and sausage.
American country sausage. What else have we got for ingredients here?
Well, next we're going to have onions, chopped onions. And I would say we're using...
Probably 2 for this.
You think?
We'll see. We'll just see how it looks when they're chopped.
Yeah, okay. And then we will go to the...
a little bit of ketchup?
Just a little bit of ketchup. And eggs. We're going to make 2 large meatloaf.
And you put about...
And we put 2 eggs.
2 eggs in each meatloaf?
Yeah, because they're pretty good sized.
All right.
And then we need a filler. And a filler is something that helps to bind the meat together and have it come out perfectly. This is oatmeal.
So is this part of the reason why your meatloaf doesn't crumble and fall apart?
Right. The eggs and the oatmeal. So that's it. Oh, don't forget this. This is very important.
Onion soup mix. Okay, now this is Lipton onion soup mix. Is it important to use Lipton or does it?
Any onion soup mix, but this is a good brand. I would use this.
All right, so we've got onion soup mix, onions, ketchup, ground beef, American breakfast sausage, 4 eggs, and some oatmeal, and
Yes.
we're ready to go.
Oh, good. Now, here we are, and Bruce is dicing onions. We want them cut a nice size, about the size of your little fingernail, not too small. We want to know they're in there, and we want to see them because that's part of it. And if you make too many onions, just put them in your fridge and they'll be ready for an omelet in the morning or scrambled eggs and onions. See how fine he's doing those? And these onions are sweet onions, which have a wonderful flavor. And, oh, good job, Bruce.
So this is what you use. You use a sweet onion in your meatloaf?
Yes, I do.
All right, well, we've got plenty of onion here, and we'll just put it in as needed when we put our mix together, all right?
Good thing.
They look good,
Yeah.
and you know what? That smells good to me, too.
You bet. Nothing smells better than an onion. Bruce and I have just washed our hands because we're going to be handling our ingredients, and we want to be sanitary. We want to be healthy. So now we're ready, and we'll start assembling. We're going to do it in layers. Instead of throwing everything into the bowl, people usually put the meat in, then pour everything on top, and then they start. But it's a hard job. It's like slogging through the snow on a mountain. So we're going to put a layer or 2 or 3 layers, and then we won't have to do much mixing.
All right,
Okay,
so
Bruce?
our layer, you said our layer is eggs, oatmeal is the filler, and onions, and then a layer of meat, then another layer of that mixture
Yeah.
with another layer of meat.
Sounds
So
good.
let's get started. I'm going to just pop a couple of eggs into here. Here we go.
Okay.
And I'm going to leave those there, and now I'm going to take our onion, and it's not very scientific, but you know, there's a lot of flexibility I've seen over the years in how much onion you put in.
Right.
So let's just do enough here. That's not a small amount, but here's our mixture with the eggs unmixed.
Okay.
And we'll just mix it a little bit with my hand. Always feels fun to feel a raw egg. Okay, now
the
I'm going
oatmeal.
to take a little oatmeal, and once again, it's not so scientific. We've got a cup of oatmeal here, and I'm going to put about half of it maybe in here.
That looks good.
It's not a small amount. Yeah, that is just about half. And this is what our mixture is looking like now. And we'll mix this up a little bit.
Good.
All right, now you said that we have about 4 pounds of ground beef, 2 pounds of sausage. So it's always a sort of a 2-to-1 ratio.
A
isn't it?
ratio of 2 to 1.
All right, well, I'm going to break
To
this
ground
meatloaf, about this ground beef about in half, and I'm going to
Good.
place it in our mixture, punch it around a little bit. You can
Looks
see what
good.
we've done.
Yes.
Now I'm going to take one of these sausages. Now I notice you let these get pretty warm before we worked with them.
Well, they work easy. Yeah, they're fine. That'll mix very well. This is the proper way to mix food. Don't ever put everything in one spot because it tends to stay where you put it.
All right, so I'm just kind of punching it and mixing it. I'm mixing this first layer,
Yeah.
and you just sort of turn it and spin it and grind it, just get it all mixed up.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, I remember seeing you do this many times over the years.
Yes.
All right,
How's it feel?
it feels good. It feels surprisingly moist. Now I know that one of the keys is to get the meat mixed well,
Yes.
so that it isn't in clumps, but the pork and the beef are mixed well together. So this may be good enough to start our second layer.
Yes.
Huh? It's not totally done yet, but we'll be mixing it
It's
more.
fine.
All right,
It looks good.
so here we go. How about 2 more eggs? Make a little place. Two eggs.
This is a very good way to do it. It makes it so easy.
Once again, onion. Thank you. About the same amount. So it looked like a lot of onion, but it's actually doing pretty well.
Smells good.
And here's a second cup of oatmeal, or almost, huh?
Yes. What the heck?
All right, so we're ready for our second layer of meat.
Right.
Here's our...
What do? You don't add any of your onion soup now, huh?
Not yet. We will do it right away.
Okay.
And you're right.
This is nice.
Now, we're going to add in a moment here our onion soup mix. We could have done that with the first layer, by the way, but we didn't. But, you know, we're putting in onions already, but you found that onion soup mix is a good way to do this, huh?
Yes, it has a lot of extra seasoning that we're not putting in, and it's got a good taste. Now we're going to add our secret ingredient, which is onion soup mix.